Hi folks, this is activity number 1 from the week 8 of the CAD course in winter of 2026. We started the subject of finite element, doing finite element with CATIA, and uh, I want to solve this problem with the structure that's shown here is clamped at these 4 ends, and this top face is subjected to some kind of a pressure. Now notice that it says use the smallest portion of the geometry to invoke symmetry. Now, if you look at this problem, all you need to do is 1/8 of this piece. If you view from the top, if you look at the view from the top, you take 1/8 of what you see there because of the dimensions that are given, and that solves the problem. You might be tempted to say, can I do 1/4? Can I do 1/2 of it? Yes. Can I do 1/4 of it? Yes. But it specifically said the smallest portion. That means I want the 1/8 model. However, what I'm going to do in this problem, I will make the full model and for example, I'm going to skip the half model. I'm going to do the full model, a quarter model, and 1/8 model, because I want to show you how you save these things separately with minimizing the possibility of not not doing the proper save or overwriting something with something else. Okay, this is bound to happen to you, and I want to do this thing the long way. First, run the full model, save the result. Then run the quarter model, save the results. And finally, 1/8 model, which is really what I want, and save the results. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, make the full model, and it's going to be to make my job easier, a centered rectangle like that. Let me dimension these things. This is 10 inches. Okay. Here's another 10 inches. Okay, then I make a little uh, rectangle inside, 5 and 5. So this is going to be 5, and this is also going to be 5. Okay, exit, pad it. By the way, you can do a multi-pad if you want, but with those circles drawn, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to make a I'm going to do a pad right there. Now, on that top face, I will sketch one of these circles. Doesn't matter which one. Let me dimension this thing. Diameter 1. And it's positioned 1.5 inches from each side. This point and that line. That's going to be 1.5. Okay. And dimension from here, from the center to that line, also 1.5. There we are. Exit and pad it by 2 inches. Now, if you want, you can make 3 more of these on that top face, but I can also do the circular pattern, for example. You click on it. It's a complete crown, and I want 4 of them. And what do I want to pattern? It's that pad that I made. This we can do it on the tree. This pad that I made, and with respect to what is a reference surface, reference element, you can either do Z-axis or just select the top face, this top face. Either way. I think I meant to take pad 2 right there. Okay, so I meant to take pad 2, reference element is that top face, complete crown on 4, and we say okay. Now let's apply material to this thing. Apply material is this icon. It's made out of steel. I select the part and then I say okay. Now I will save this in a folder. Let me show you what. File, save management, save as, uh, desktop. I'll make a folder. I'll say week 8 activity 1. All right. So this thing that I made is going to go into that folder, right there. Where was that? Week 8 activity 1. I lost it. Week 8 activity 1, right there. Say okay. And okay. Now let's see what happened. Let me close this thing for a second. Minimize that. Here is a week 8 activity 1, and in it there is this guy. If I double click on it, Catia will start and it's going to give me this. All right. Now I want to do the full model and analyze the full model. So start, analysis and simulation, generative structure analysis. It's a static analysis we're doing. If you want to see the mesh, it's already done, but if you want to see it, put the cursor here, right click visualization, but then make sure you deactivate it or delete it because there's nothing else you can do once this mesh is looking at you. Now, what do we know? The tops are clamped. So here's the clamp, top face, top face, top face, the top face. And this face, the top face of this block is subjected to a pressure of 100 psi. So you look at the loads, here's the pressure. You select that top face. It puts a cursor here. It's kind of hard to see because of the, see that? There's this thing that puts there. That's the symbol for pressure. And because of the geometry, it doesn't put it on all these, on the face. It puts it right at the center. You say, okay, good. You're pretty much done. By the way, anything that's blocking your view, you don't want to see it, you can hide it. Like hide that. Oops, not that. Hide that if you don't want to see it. Right there, you see that. Now run it. So we're running the full model. Good. You can look at the results if you want. For example, there is the stress distribution, one means the stress distribution, etc. Now, if you want to change the rendering, go to material shading, by the way, right there. Now, I don't want to see this thing. Let me just hide, let me just deactivate it or hide it either way. All right, now, this is very important. You go to File, Save Management. Notice that there is an analysis. There is an analysis file here, okay? Analysis. Save as. We are in the week 8 activity 1. I'm going to make a folder here. And I'm going to call it full model and say, put it in there. Open, save. Now, this is the whole point. You better click on the propagate directory because when you click on the propagate directory, it takes a copy of your the part. It takes your analysis and the temporary file, all of them goes into that directory. Okay, what directory? Full model. Propagate directory is very important. Very important. Propagate directory. Notice that they're all going to go in the same slot, full model. The part, that original part is going to stay there in the week 8 activity 1. But a copy of that is going to be put in there. We say, okay. And let's double check. Let me close this. Let me close that. Go back to my folder, week 8. Notice that this is the original part that I made. But within that full model, there is the analysis. There is a copy of that part 1. And these are the temporary files. Excellent. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, go back. This was the original model. I'm going to start. Double click on it, opens it up. Now I'm going to do my cuts. I want to take a 1/4 model. So how do I do 1/4 model? I go on one way to do it is to split that thing with this. Doesn't matter what side we pick. And then again, with that plane, doesn't matter what side we pick. I'll click the other one. There we are. Okay. This is the 1/4 model. I skipped the 1/2 model. Now, go to start, analysis and simulation, generative structure analysis. Static. Okay. Let me change the rendering here. I don't like this rendering. Okay, good, good. Now, what do we know? The top of this is clamped. Okay. Because of the symmetry, this face and that face are on surface slider or roller, surface slider. This face and that face. You can do that separately. You can do it at the same time. And there is a pressure here. Same pressure, 100 psi. We say, okay. Now we're going to run it. Don't worry about this thing. It was a warning message. Now, look at the results. There's the deflection. There's the stress, etc., etc. Let me deactivate these. I don't have to. I'll just leave it the way it is. That's fine. Now, here's the key. You go to, again, File, Save Management, take the analysis, save as. Don't put it in the full model. Go make a new folder. And in that new folder, we say quarter model. It's going to go in there. Now, you say open. You say save. It is very important. You have to say propagate directory. Propagate directory. Propagate directory. Notice that everything is going to go into quarter model. Propagate directory. Selected the analysis. Propagate directory. And then say OK. Now, let me close these to see what I've got. Here's my folder. Full model is what we already did right there. Full model. Full model. Close it. What about the other guy? Go to the other folder, quarter model. Analysis. There we are. Now, if you look at the part itself, it's also the quarter model. Right there. But if you go to that original part, this is not modified. This is the original one. Double click. There we are. Okay. So let's go ahead and do 1/8 of the model. To do 1/8 of the model, I need a plane because I have to cut it with a slanted plane and one of these planes. So let me make a plane first. This plane, passing through 3 points. For example, 3 points, this point, and that point, and that point. Say okay. Notice that it's at a 45-degree angle. You can see that from the top. Now we start cutting it. So split with this plane. It doesn't matter which side we pick. Good. And another cut, another split. This time with this plane, like so. So what you have is 1/8 the model. So now we're going to go to analysis and simulation, generative structure analysis, static. All right. So the top of this is clamped. Say okay. Surface slider on this face, not on that face. You're going to lose marks here. This is the plane of symmetry, not that. And then say, okay, pressure on that top face, same value, 100 psi. You're going to run it. Don't worry about this wording. You can look at the deflection. There we are. See? That's good. Now, save the results. File, save management, analysis, save as, in a new folder. New folder, eighth model. So things are going to go in the eighth model, right there. Open. It's going to go in the eighth model. That analysis is going to say save. Do not forget, propagate directory. Propagate directory. Everything is going to go into eighth model. Say okay. Let's see if it worked. Let me close this. Let me close that. First, to convince you that everything that we originally did is there. Full model, analysis, it's there. Quarter model, analysis, it's there. Eighth model, analysis, it's there. This is the eighth model. And if we go to the original part that we made right here, this one better be the full model. There it is. So if you gave me these 3 folders with the stuff on it, I can open it up and see whether you did them right or not, without any danger of overwriting a full model with the 8th model itself, because it's bound to happen to you. I'm going to strongly advise you to check this out, okay? You might say, on the test, if I was given this problem, do I have to do all of these? No. On the test, all I want is the 8th model. That's all. If it said use a smaller piece. All right, folks. So the next 2 activities, I'm going to do it the same way, just so that you can see that this is a systematic way of doing this thing and saving it appropriately. There are other ways of doing it, but if you want, go find out.